Ever since the day adults taught me my first words, they've regretted it. I talk too much. It seems I was just dying to get those jigsaw puzzle pieces of language into my mouth so I could create pictures of the world around me. I drove my poor mother crazy, no doubt, to the point where she made up games like, let's see who can be quiet the longest. I was never any good at this game. I'm still not good today, and I can't see any point in playing, so I've carried on a fairly nonstop, steady stream of conversation pretty much ever since then. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, I apologize. I often found myself in trouble at school for this, hours spent counting concrete blocks waiting in the principal's office just for talking. And sometimes I was merely explaining, helping another student understand something the teacher said. I mean, who could talk to a kid better than another kid? But nonetheless, my teacher stressed about talking too much, talking too loud, talking in class, talking out of turn, and talking back. Yeah, I'm also a smartass. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, I apologize. See, I come from a large family of women who all talk at the same time. There exists simultaneously the main conversation and side conversations and private conversations and cross conversations and general proclamations made to no one in particular. So I'm used to this style of communication. I often unconsciously lapse into these habits amongst a group in public, and my gentle husband must sweetly remind me that some people may consider this behavior rude. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, I apologize. And I find myself saying the most phenomenally stupid things, but I guess that just goes with the territory, carrying on this incessant stream. But the most embarrassing thing is I sometimes call people by the wrong name. And I don't mean people I just met or had mere acquaintanceship with, but family members, poets, and friends. It's the weirdest mind glitch, and it frustrates me to no end. I mean, like, Merry Christmas, Aunt Sally. My aunt's name is Susan. I don't even have an Aunt Sally, and it leaves people feeling that they're less important to me than they truly are. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, I apologize. Yeah, I talk too much, but don't get me wrong. Some days I am keenly aware of how easily I squander what so many have fought and died for, and consider the alternative, silence. It's said that all it takes for evil to prevail is for good people to remain silent. Silence is consent, even when enforced by aggression. Silence is oppression. Silence, like the silencing of hundreds of Native American languages forbidden to dance their taste on tongues for fear of the threat of their sound. Silence, like the silencing of the voices of the plantation slaves with a bit, a cruel metal device forced into the mouth and locked to the back of the head, preventing all speech for days, sometimes weeks. Silence, like the silence of thousands of American citizens when their neighbors of Japanese descent were dragged from their homes and taken to internment camps. Silence, like the permanent silence of so many who have sought to make a difference. The silence of death for those like Martin Luther King Jr., John Lennon. Silence, like the silencing of anyone who finds themselves standing strong to speak the truth against all odds, who is forced to remain in silence. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, if you're the one who's been speaking out, don't ever apologize.
Jerry Hardesty. All right, 9, there we go, up, up, up. Judges are happy.